to point out to you that Santa hat behind you.
Santa baby.
Okay, so let's just do this. And if it pops on live on Facebook, then cool. And if
we'll be like, oh, okay, fine. Just
right.
like that.
Yes, just like that. Okay, so do you want to start with the introduction, or do you want to just start talking?
I'll start with the introduction.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. I'm Perizaad.
I'm Faizeh.
And this is our last Raqs Talks of 2020. It is December 30th. This year is almost done. Faizeh and I could not be more excited about that, but we wanted to talk to you guys because this has been a really eventful year for our channel, as it is the advent of our channel.
The advent. I like that. And I think it may be live now. I'm going to check. Because it stopped saying that it was preparing. And I don't know if
maybe
that
it just failed. Maybe it just gave up.
That could be, actually. That could be. So we'll just carry on.
We'll carry on.
Yes. So yeah, this year was the advent of Raqs Talks.
Yeah, we've actually put out 26 episodes. So literally half the year we have.
Oh, we started in June. We started in June.
We did. So. We started in June. But yeah, and we've just really enjoyed having all of the people who've, come on and interviewed, all of the wonderful dancers who've come and danced at our spotlights. And of course, we've loved getting to know you guys, our fans, on the YouTube comments, on our Facebook page, on Instagram. We've just had the best time, and we're just so thankful for all of you.
Yeah, it was really, my vision of it was not very different, but was fairly different than what it actually ended up being. And I'm not sure how. I think I blame Amani.
I do too. Well, actually, it's actually Adrienne and Laura's fault, because if they hadn't come on and been saying all this profound stuff, we just would have been like, what's your favorite costume? Who are your favorite dancers to watch? What songs do you hate?
I know, it when I think about our list of questions, when we're like, what questions will we ask? And it was all fluff, there's nothing wrong with fluff, because sometimes you need to be able to, oh my stars, my computer is making all kinds of noises. Sometimes you you need to be able to have a place to escape. So for example, this last week was really, really hard on me personally and just emotionally, and finding out that people that I really cared about had passed away, and then someone that was pretty influential in my life, even though we were no longer friends. I mean, we didn't hate each other, but we were no longer friends. But finding out that she had passed away last summer. And so it was really a heavy week for me. And so I took a break from the world, and I watched, I what do you call it when you watch something all the episodes?
Binge.
Thank you. I binged The Bachelorette because it's just so just not deep. I mean, I'm sure it means something to Tasha and Zach. But,
sure.
But it was not it's not going to change the world, and anyway. So sometimes fluff is necessary, which is why we did our ASMR episode, which was very silly, and we just did it to be silly. And so I think that, sometimes we still can do that in the future, but I really am glad that it evolved the way it did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I've been really interested in Silk Road cultures my entire life. And then I've been belly dancing for just about 25 years, just a little under a quarter century. And nevertheless, I've probably learned more in this single year.
6 months, not even a year, 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. And, and it's not that I haven't sought out information. I mean, you as my student for so long, you know that it's important to me to always learn. And I think also part of it is that we all were stuck inside. So we were given a lot more opportunities because there were a lot more lectures being done and things like that. So that was really, really amazing and helpful.
Yeah. I mean, and that's just one of the things is like, on the one hand, it's been really hard because, with the belly dance culture, most of us, we're performers, so we're very effusive people. We love to run up and like hug and kiss on each other all the time. So not being able to see each other at competitions and festivals has been really difficult, but it's just been really, it's been fascinating and so heartwarming to see the outpouring of how we've tried to come to terms with this year, like while still trying to be supportive of each other, but also, putting lectures online, putting classes online. I am finally getting around to redeeming some of my belly dance bundle classes. And, there are very, very important conversations that are happening. And it's interesting because they're about events that happened last year, but because everybody is stuck inside, people are sitting down and actually being able to have these conversations via Zoom and sitting down for panels and listening to people now. So the opportunity has it's finally here. And we hopefully, I know there's still a lot of conflict in the community, and, which is going to happen when people who haven't been heard before are making themselves heard, and people who are not used to having to listen suddenly find themselves having to listen. There's gonna be conflict, but I'm excited to see what we can produce moving forward, where we consciously create opportunities and spaces for everyone to have a voice.
I agree. And there's always going to be conflict, even because those voices don't all agree. Like when we were talking to Alia the other night, and just some of the things that she was saying, like she was talking about how she doesn't always agree with other people from the same community, and plus
even other Egyptians,
other Arabs, and my observation is that, and this is obvious, but it's also an observation, that just because, well, let me back up. We're trying to pull together several different cultures that have certain unifying points to those various cultures. They're all Middle Eastern or they're all North African. But we're trying to pull them all together, but in the same way that in Texas, they don't agree with what we think in California, things that we take for granted as being, well, of course, this is what it means to be an American, or of course, this is what it means to be whatever. And someone in Texas,
of course, In-N-Out Burger is the best burger,
right? I mean, that's obvious. And so,
but Texans don't agree. Weirdos.
No. Although I will say, when my nephew was going to school there, he would drive 2 hours just to go get his In-N-Out fix because he's from California.
Yes.
But so even though we're also taking Persians and Greeks and Turkish people and Armenians and Arabs and all of the different cultures of the area, and there are unifying things in those cultures, just like there's unifying things between California and Texas. They're still very different people. They're going to have different experiences, and it's been super interesting for me to listen to the variety of viewpoints, because I know for myself, like I've kind of been like, well, Arabs think this, you know, in the past, I've kind of had that mentality because all the ones that I deal with, but they're here in California or, you know, whatever. Or it's like the ones that I happen to hang out with all think this. So I just kind of attach that to everyone, which is wrong. It's wrong. So that's definitely something that's been super interesting for me and, you know, eye-opening, like enlightening, I guess. I don't know. I don't think I'm making any sense except that I've learned a lot and I'm enjoying learning.
Yeah, I mean, even just like learning about like even, I mean, like, especially like, thankfully we're so fortunate to have so many people that are so knowledgeable that have done so much research. There are so many geeks in the belly dance community. There are so many nerds that love research and do so fervently, and then thankfully have found platforms that they can share with the rest of us, you know, not the least of which include May Not Dance Geeks and the Yellow Raqs podcast. We're so fortunate in this community to have people who are so willing to go into the research, and you know that spaces are being provided. I don't want to say spaces are being provided because it sounds like they needed the microphone handed to them, but that we're coming to terms with the fact that we need to listen to, you know, May Not dancers, and that a lot of our actions that we've thought were helping them have actually been silencing them.
Yes.
And that they are, you know, that they are getting to speak out, and that there's more people who are like, wait, sorry, they're this person over here is dumb. Don't listen to them. I want to listen to you, what you have to say in this moment. Hopefully we see more of that in 2021. Hopefully we see more of that on this show. Yeah. So because like I said, we just spoke to Alia Gamal, and got to hear her perspective, and you know, hopefully we get to have more and more dancers of the culture on here, so we can just get more and more perspectives on here. Hopefully you guys will still be watching the show in 2021. Hopefully we'll have more dance challenges like the Mavi Dance Challenge, because that was just fun. Like what you guys came out with was just, and they're still the most watched. Nobody cares about our interviews. Everybody just wants to watch the Mavi Dance Challenge videos. Damn it.
Like, we're really interesting.
Like, yeah, I don't put hours of time into editing those videos, and those are just like through the roof on you. Whatever, it's fine.
I appreciate your work, Perizaad.
I know. I love you. But
and the spotlights, for myself, and I mean, obviously, like, something that I have always believed my entire adult life is, if you want something to be a certain, like, if you want this to happen, then you do it. You know, like, if you're unhappy with the way something's being done, then you do the way you want it. And so I love that we do the spotlight performances where it's just one dancer and they just do a full set, and we get to see the breadth of this. It's like, I feel like I get to know this dancer more because I get to watch them do like the full. I mean, I know that when we first started, we're like, we love AMCAB, and so we wanted to be an AMCAB set, and then we invited people that weren't AMCAB dancers.
Well, you know, but the thing is too is that, you know, there is, you know, AMCAB is not the only one that does a 30-minute set. The Egyptians do a 30-minute set, and they'll break in their ballady, and they'll do all kinds of stuff in that. And so it's been wonderful to watch our Egyptian dance friends come in and do a full set. At some point, Faizeh and I are going to have to get over our prejudice and invite a Russian-style dancer on the show, or an Argentinian-style dancer. And well, I'm sure they will do a fabulous job, and we will appreciate what they have to offer as well, because we love this dance. And, you know, we're just here at the end of the day, as much as we love to hear ourselves talk, you know, at the end of the day, we're here to promote this dance and
support the community.
Brought it to us, and support the community. Yeah. So we will endeavor to do more of that in 2021 to be certain.
And I will say this to our lovely fans. Please tell us what you want more of, because
Sweet Jesus, please.
we're just going to keep doing what we want to watch. If you want more of what we are doing, that grammar was weird. Anyway, then tell us that too. Say, yeah, this is awesome. I love all of the interviews that you're doing, or I love the spotlights, or I love this. I mean, we want to hear from you regardless. But
otherwise, you're just going to get more weird ASMR videos because we are just trying to figure out what to do.
Maybe next time I'll be a little more prepared for it and I'll actually whisper.
My cat is like adjusting the thing now, and I'm like, ah.
But I liked yes, because I like how the Santa hat is.
Just gonna turtle. Like some weirdo. What do I say? Like some weirdo? I am some weirdo.
You are some weirdo, which is, why we love you. So
I do. So for those of you who don't know, Faizeh and I have been friends for so long that when I was in college and I had my dating profiles on dating apps like everybody else did, on one of my profiles, I decided to start it off with like quotes from people I knew. So like one was from my roommate Rusty, and he was my roommate at the time. He was just my friend, but he was like, Avery, you aren't a good person. You are, however, a great person, Rusty Yamamoto. And then for Faizeh, it was you are the muppetiest person I know.
I mean, you are. So I didn't remember that you did that. Did you tell me that you did that?
I think I did at some point.
That is
but
hilarious.
Still, I mean, your favorite thing was me doing the whole the hair swinging to Zeta. It's just like the dumbest voice.
Since then, I have turned you into a cartoon, though, an anime, because I told you that you have anime eyes. So.
Oh my god! After that, one guy told me I had Powerpuff Girl eyes, and I'm like, I'm one of the freaks with eyes a third of their that make up like 2/3 of their head. Great.
Your eyes are so beautiful and amazing. So when I say that you have anime eyes, I mean that as a compliment.
Thank you. As somebody else who also has anime eyes.
Yes.
Anyway, we've gotten off track. Wow, Faizeh and Perizaad stop talking about the topic to talk about themselves.
What?
Never happens on this show.
Never
happens. But I've just been so delighted with this show and like because as you know, Faizeh and I said, we originally just wanted this to be like a fluff piece completely, and then it ended up being something else that you guys have enjoyed so much, and we've really enjoyed bringing it to you. I have made friends with so many I have so many friendships with dancers that I didn't have before that I have because of this show. And it's just so incredible, like to get to know the members of this community on an even deeper level and just really be able to appreciate the brains behind the dance has just been absolutely fabulous. And getting to know our fans better has been fabulous as well.
And my kid. I thought you needed me to open that. That's why I'm fine that you came over and said hello. My child, I would just like to say, for those who are like, oh, look, a future belly dancer. No. I tried to get her to belly dance, and she did dance a few times with me. But she has no interest, and that makes me very sad.
I just remember when we thought that like Alice was going to be a dance prodigy because she was like 4 years old and she was banging out a shiftatelli on a drum. We're like, oh my God, that's a shifty.
I know. I remember thinking that, but she has chosen
other interests.
Yes, she has chosen a different path that involves Among Us and Minecraft.
That is not.
Anyway, back to the year in review. So we would love for you to leave a comment telling us which one of the interviews was your favorite. And I don't know, which one would you say was your favorite? Not saying that this person is your favorite person, obviously.
Oh, it was my favorite interview.
Yeah.
I think Davina's.
That was so fun, wasn't it?
That was a kick to record. She's hysterical, and then she was just so smart and so fun. It was so hard to edit because I just wanted to keep in everything. Guys, there are so many amazing things from that interview that didn't make it to the interview just for time, because I had to like kind of come up with like a continuous theme or storyline, like a continuous narrative. Would you stop? My cat is trying to just eat all of my stuff. My cat is just full cat today, but won't come on camera. No, that, I mean, like there was so many things that she talked about that were just brilliant. So that was probably my favorite. I mean, I've loved all of them.
Yeah.
I've learned so much from all of them, and like there are so many that are just like super close seconds, but like if I had to pick one, it was probably Dawn. It was probably Davina. She was just,
yeah, and she was so just like super knowledgeable, and just like, yeah, she was fun, and yeah, I really enjoyed that one a lot too.
she's brilliant. She's absolutely brilliant. And like, and it was so much like, as you all know, as big of fans as you all are, my mother is the ultimate Raqs Talks fan.
She is.
And that one was her favorite. And basically, you know, for a lot of interviews, she's like, when are you gonna have more like Davina? When are you gonna have Dawn back on? And I'm like, I don't know, Mom.
That was a super fun interview. Yeah.
Yeah, she was fabulous. Tiffany from the Belly Dance Bundle, that was also, and Andalise were both really fun to go back and edit. I forgot how much we laughed during those interviews, and then I went back and I edited them, and it was, oh my God, they were a kick, both of them.
Yeah. I've enjoyed all of them for various reasons, you know?
Yep.
Like, I really enjoyed, obviously I enjoyed Roxanne, because Roxanne
Oh
is
my gosh.
one of my mentors, and I've learned so much from her. And she's so, as an educator, she's so clear with what she's trying to express and that kind of thing. And so I really, of course, I enjoyed that one. And then Amani was just like, once again, full of information, and just like, and a lot of it was just like, this is my life experience. And it was like, you know, I remember when I was a baby belly dancer, and I'm still like this, but I mean, especially then, I would talk to my teachers or other dancers that I loved, and they would be telling stories, you know, and I would just be like, tell me stories about what it was like. And, you know, some stories were like really like, this was a very important lesson that I learned. And then other stories were like, which is what so many of my stories are like, this is this really embarrassing thing that happened to me, you know? And I always look forward to being someone who had stories. But even still, those are always my favorite. It makes everything come alive for me, is listening to the stories of like, back when I danced at the Fez, you know, blah, 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 which is one of the reasons why Corey's interview was so much fun, because she was just telling stories about, you know,
Stories with Corey.
Yep. Corey was being Corey. And, you know, she's full of stories, and it just was super enjoyable.
Yep. And of course, we would be remiss to not mention Adrienne and Laura Lale, who we mention almost every episode. But honestly, they were the first people to let us interview them. I don't know if you guys remember this, but our first episodes were Faizeh and me interviewing each other.
No, nobody cared.
It was just us interviewing each other, and like, and Adrienne and Laura were good enough to allow us to interview them in the midst of a pandemic.
Yes.
And really got this show going, and they've just been wonderfully supportive this entire time, and we adore them. But to all of our guests who have come on this show and given us their incredible stories and new perspectives, we are just so thankful, forever thankful. I'm so excited, you guys. When I go on our YouTube, there's a second page of videos that I have to click over to see our first videos. Progress. So yeah, I just, this has been a weird year. This has been a rough year. I don't know if I would have made it to this part of the year as mentally and emotionally intact as I am without this show. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who has been on this show, everybody who has watched this show, who's been kind enough to leave comments or share, and of course to my lovely co-contributor, my lovely co-host Faizeh, and to our super fans, my mother, Drew, Michael Castillo-Walsh, Philip Trujillo, and Adrienne.
Yes, I have really I'm so grateful for you, because it's been rough, and I'm so thankful that I get to do this with someone who is so special to me and whom I trust so much and who holds me accountable, and that I get to make jokes about how little you listen to me. And when I know, like, deep down it's there.
It's a big head. It's a really big head. There's a lot of space for it to get lost in. Like,
somebody else has to poke it so that you go, oh my gosh, I learned this new thing. But I just, when we had our cocktail Zoom date back in March or beginning of April, whenever it was.
Oh gosh, whenever.
And we just were like, hey, I had this idea. Oh my gosh, I had the same one. And I can't imagine doing this project with anyone but you. So thank you for making this year, for being one of the lights that occurred in this year. So
actually, if we're going to talk about that, then I can't say all my thank yous without saying a massive, massive, massive thank you to Kat Ellen, another one of my favorite interviews. But because behind the scenes, Kat Ellen is one of my accountability partners, and if it hadn't been for her, I would not have pursued this and really done the research on YouTube and editing and everything else. But because I had to be accountable to her every week, otherwise this might have just ended up being one of my, wouldn't it be great if, and then just another idea that flitted off to the ether. So Kat Ellen is a fairy godmother of this show for sure. Roxanne is a fairy godmother. I think that's actually the thing, is this show has a lot of fairy godmothers. I was telling Michael in the back, because he's like, oh yeah, we have to do the show at noon. I'm like, we? What are you, Ike Turner? He's like, I meant you. And he actually, he was all sad because I wasn't including him. Like, oh, honey, I'm sorry. You're an executive producer. What am I saying? You have an EP credit on this show. Just demonstrating how Angelino we are. Yeah, this show has a lot of fairy godmothers, and we are just eternally grateful to all of you for encouraging us and giving us gentle corrections when we needed them.
Yep. So, I am really grateful, and I think that's all we have time for. So,
yep.
All right. Well, this was 2020 in Raqs Talks. Let's I don't have any superstitions that like knocking on wood or spitting on anything, but
I like the post that's been going around that says like nobody claimed 2021 as their year. Let's all just like walk into it real quiet, real nice, behave ourselves and not touch anything.
yeah. So let's just leave the grossness of 2020 behind, but still appreciate the good things that did happen. So
we have some great interviews lined up for you guys in 2021.
Yeah, I'm excited.
We've already gotten the can. We have more and more. We have Raqs Talk spotlights lined up to March. So like, guys, I don't think we don't have one this year. Or not this year. We don't have one for the 1st of January. We don't have one this Friday.
No. It's next Friday.
It's doing their 10-year retrospective, and I'm in that though. If you want to go over and watch that,
yes,
get the tickets on Eventbrite. And so if you want to do that, that's great. But otherwise, I'm Perizaad.
I'm Faizeh.
And this has been 2020. We'll see you in 2021. Ma salama.
Ma salama.